Hi, and thank you so much for joining me for another process video. And today is a Sunday, and it's our One Sketch Three Ways, a series that I partake in with my friends Jackie and Helen. We're a week late this month. We had other commitments that took priority, unfortunately, so we pushed it back by a week. Jackie did post that in our group, and here is the sketch in the top left-hand corner. You can see there it's one that Jackie chose for us, and it's from Page Maps, and I'm using the new Fun Times collection from Simple Stories. I've just taken the papers and the sticker sheet from this collection. I absolutely adore the colours and the shapes on a lot of the B-sides actually of the papers, so I'm going to make it work, and it's perfect for birthday photos, and that's what this is. It's my mum's birthday. It was her 81st, and we all went out as a family to a local Brazilian steakhouse where they bring it's like a rodizio grill where they bring the meats around on big skewers and serve you at your seat. It's really great fun. Mum and Dad enjoy it, so we all went there for a meal. So you can see in the sketch that there's this border around the edge, and I decided to create a doodle border. I'm just starting it here now, and I'll finish it off towards the end of the video. You'll see what I do with that. I've also cut my papers. I cut I wanted to use those strips of cool tones from that stripy paper, so I just cut the first four strips without having any of the pinks and oranges and things in it. So I'm trying here to put it in the middle of the paper. I've already gone wrong. I should have measured, but I'm trying to eyeball it. I think that's fine. And then I've got the 2-inch strips at the top and bottom. And again, I kind of wish that I'd done these 2.5 inches, but no matter. They're 2 inches, and I'm going to make it work. So when I put these down, you'll see the bottom piece is definitely higher up than the top piece. So the top piece does overlap those doodle lines that I've done slightly per the sketch. The bottom one definitely doesn't, and it's only when I start bringing the photos in and things that I realise this, so I will spend a bit of time pulling these papers up. But in the meantime, I'm going to create that circle on the left hand side. So just using my We Are Memory Keepers circle cutter on the smallest size, which I think is 4 inches, and I'm just cutting a circle out of that paper here. So at the moment I haven't distressed any edges, which is unlike me, and I don't like the look of it. Spoiler alert, I do go back and distress those edges in due course. So I've used 2 photos instead of 1 for that photo block, 2 3x4 photos, and then there is a second photo on the sketch which is 2 by 2.5. I'm going to use this tag in its place. I just didn't want to bring in another photo. I thought the 2 was plenty. So I've just found this lovely tag that says yay, and that's going to take the place of that photo block underneath the circle. I do move it over slightly to the right just to make it work with my photos on my page. And you can see I've trimmed the bottom off because that was just going to be hidden behind the photo, and it was a nice little ticket on there, so I'm going to use that instead. Now I want a journaling block to the right hand side because I want to tell the story, and I start with this piece with the semicircles, but in actual fact it doesn't quite work for me. Too many blues, I think, and I just wasn't happy. And then I spotted the piece next to it, this one that I'm cutting out now, and it's got the word happy. Now I wanted to use one of our title builders from Hey Little Magpie, one of the wood title builders that says birthday. So using that with that word happy is going to work perfectly as my title. So I'm just playing about with the bits that I've got on my page. I'm not going to use that other journaling card. That can be saved for a future layout. And I'm just slowly building these up. And this is where I see that I'm not happy with the positioning of these papers. So I won't make you watch this. It was painstaking. I had to pull everything up, and it's all on ATG. So it was a little bit of a faff and a bit messy. But I get there in the end, and my decision was just to add a small white border around that central square. And that extends those 2 2-inch pieces up and down the page as I wanted them to be. So sometimes when you're following a sketch and you get your measurements a bit wrong, which I frequently do because I'm not great at eyeballing things, you can adapt and change things. And actually I'm thrilled with the end result, and I'm really happy that I've got that white gap, because you'll see what I do to use that to my advantage at the end. So I'm just going to map the 2 photos of Mum on white cardstock. They found out it was her birthday, and it was really sweet. At the end of the meal, they brought out this beautiful board, and they'd written happy birthday with chocolate on it, and then given her a couple of scoops of ice cream, which she really enjoyed. She just thought it was great that she was being recognised, so she made my niece come and sit with her and share the ice cream as well. But these are just 2 of the photos. I took one because I was sitting next to her, and then my husband took one because he was opposite her, so really sweet. So that's how they're going to sit. Just distressing the edges of that circle, and then I can start gluing these bits down. Just going around all the other pieces, and I'm just distressing with my fingernails. I didn't want white marks really. I just wanted that frilly look that you get from using your fingernails when you distress. So just sticking these 2 photos down in that circle. And of course, I'd completely forgotten that I wanted to do some inking on the background. I feel like I've not scrapped very much in the last couple of weeks, and I've lost what I do. I've sort of forgotten how to scrap almost. Not how to scrap, but how I do things. And I was so caught up following that sketch that I didn't think about my mixed media. So you'll see in a minute, I do have to pull things up slightly to sort that out. But in the meantime, I'm just merrily gluing away and getting things stuck down how I want them. And I'm really pleased with the way this is turning out. So you can see I've pulled in on the blues and cool tones from this paper collection. It's got lots of bright colours, you can see from that happy title. But I just wanted for the background to focus in on those blues and cool tone colours. So there's that title builder that says birthday. And here I am with my ink. So I've pulled out the new 49 and Market and Ranger collection, and it's the Mint Chill ink. And this is a dye-based ink. It's absolutely beautiful and blends perfectly on the background and works really nicely with these papers. So I blended that down both sides. I didn't make you watch that because I did spend a little bit of time building the colour. And then I'm using These Moments stamp from Hey Little Magpie again. It's got some little sparkly bits, just a very small stamp on it. So I'm just using that with the same ink just to add some texture around the edges of that central block. And you can see I'm just building up where I've stamped once. I'm building a couple more because it's like a continual stamp. You can keep stamping next to each other and it looks like it's one stamped piece. So I'm going to glue these birthday pieces down now that I've decided how everything sits on the page. And I've done my mixed media, so much happier with that. And there we go, that's the title. I'm very happy with that. And again, more or less where it's shown on the sketch, so that's wonderful. And now I'm going to add my journaling to that journaling block and some seam binding through the tag hole. And this one works really nicely with the collection. So I was very happy that I had that in my drawer. And then onto the sticker sheet, and this sticker says Fun Times, and it's the same sort of blocky font that you've got with the word happy, so that's working really nicely at the top there. And then I've just added a tab and a sticker that says Pure Happiness on the right hand side here. And then I bring a couple in below the title here, one that says A Happy Day and one that says Celebrate. So all just words that work really nicely with birthday photos. And then there are 2 balloons, so I wanted to bring those in for sure. I'm going to add them to that right hand side where there's a cluster showing on the sketch. But I want something to sit over them. I wanted a bigger element to sort of for them to hang from, if you like. And then I spotted this camera on the journaling cards. So I fussy cut that out. I left off the strap and just fussy cut around the camera, and then that's going to sit in the bottom right here. So I'm just moving those balloons around. The red one had a smaller tail, so I just wanted to make sure that they were nicely tucked behind that camera. And then I'm going to mount that onto foam pads just to give it a little bit of dimension. I've got the dimension from the wood word, which is 3mm deep, so I wanted to add a bit more dimension on the right hand side just to balance the page out. And adding things onto foam pads gives great shadows and creates interest to the page. So that's going down there. I'm keeping it straight. I thought about putting it at an angle, but it just doesn't work for me. Everything else was straight on the page, so it looked odd. These tickets are from the sticker sheet, and I just thought they were a nice addition to the camera. And then there were some tiny little stars on this sticker sheet, so I'm just dotting a few of those about the page. I really like the black ones because they sort of, I heard somebody saying it the other day, it might have been Vicky Bootin, and black, when you're using bright colours, gives your eyes a chance to rest, and I thought that's exactly what it is. It makes the other colours pop because your eyes just have a chance to rest as they're moving around the page. So I think that's why black works so perfectly with these bright colours. So just straightening up that sticker there, I put it slightly askew. And now this is where I'm going to finish off this border. So I'm just colouring in little squares all the way around where the two lines didn't merge into one. You'll see what I mean. So where there's like a tram line going down. And you can see there, just wherever it there was a gap between the two lines, I'm adding the little squares. And I really love the look of that. And it just contains everything really. And then because this paper is a square in the centre where I'd left those gaps top and bottom, I'm just adding a doodle border around that as well. And then along each side I'm just adding a squiggle so it looks like messy stitching. So one on each of the four sides. And that's pretty much it. So do go and check out Helen and Jackie's videos, and also check out our Facebook page. We add an album each month, and it's lovely to see everybody adding their interpretations of the sketch to that. So do come and join us. And I hope you've enjoyed this and it's given you some inspiration. Do check out the Fun Times collection from Simple Stories. It's a fabulous collection with so many fun colours. I really have enjoyed it very much. Other than that, I shall see you very soon. Thanks again. Bye.